How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another show on the South Stand View. I'm joined by Mike, as always. Of course, just before we get into it, please make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing, you're commenting, and the notification bell and all that jazz. Big thank you to everybody that's showed us love over the last few days, and hope that continues. Mike, how are we doing, mate? All good?
I'm good, mate. How are you? Looking forward to his third podcast.
That's it.
Excited for the little announcement that we've got coming up in a few seconds.
We have got an announcement.
I'm good, mate.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I mean, in the words of Fabrizio Romano, here we go. We've been scouting for some free transfers. We've explored the market to see what's available.
We've put some feelers out, haven't we, Charlie?
We've put some feelers out. This person, it did take a bit of negotiating. We had to get lawyers involved and stuff.
He drove an hard bargain, didn't he, mate? He drove a very hard bargain.
He really did. I think he was just playing hard to get, if I'm being honest.
I think this were always going to happen. You know, it's one of them things where there's like, chase me, even though he wanted to come. So, I think there was a bit of that involved, but yeah.
Well, we finally got him over the line, and we are happy to announce the signing of Isaac. Here he is, Isaac, new member. How are we?
Here he is. The Billy Sharp of the South Stand View podcast is finally cycled.
How are we, mate? All good?
I'm all right, boys. How are we? How are we getting on?
We're good, mate. We're very good. We're very ecstatic to get you on board, mate. Obviously, we did, a few bits before, and we have been courting you for quite some time, haven't we? You've drove a very hard bargain in terms of getting this one over the line. I'm a
little bit. I was quite insulted with like the first few offers, to be fair, but then came back to me today and said 50p a show. So can't really turn that down.
And I think
you can't complain at that.
I think Charlie's final offer of an Anne Shandy did the trick, didn't it?
Sometimes you've got to do what you've got to do.
He took it for the team. Done. You know what I mean? That is commitment, Charlie. You know, and we'll never.
He did accept a chippy as well in true Rafinha style. So
but yeah, I'm happy to be part of this LeedsUnited podcast. So we all love Leeds.
And we're buzzing as well. This is the trio you didn't know you wanted, ladies and gentlemen.
Really is.
But of course, we're here to preview Oxford. If you haven't already, go and check out the pods that we did with Ian from the LUFC fan review, which was a really good one. Really insightful guy. I thought it was quite intelligent. I thought he spoke quite well. He was nice towards Leeds as well, which is always good. But how did you find him, Mike?
Yeah, I think, just to kind of echo what you said, I think he really knew his stuff. I think he's very apprehensive about the game on Saturday, which he probably should be. And, he's a really, really nice guy. But, with all due respect, I hope he has a really, really terrible Saturday afternoon.
He lives in Sheffield as well, doesn't he?
He lives in Sheffield, yeah. Lovely fella. Yeah. Great stuff. So
look at me, many of them, can they?
Well, he said he was from Oxford, but then he moved to Sheffield a little bit ago. Right. He said, but all the like I said, he was a very nice guy, but hopefully he is crying come 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. That'd be nice. But Isaac, obviously, we haven't spoke to you for a bit. So, what have you made to the last few performances? What have you made to Leeds since we last spoke, mate? Just in general.
Are we talking at home or away from home? Because I feel like they're
both, mate, whatever you want.
Teams, isn't it, mate?
Yeah. To be honest, lads, like I think I put on Twitter after the draw, the last game we played, and I was like, yeah, it's not great, it's not ideal, but what's the alternative? Do you know what I mean?
I said exactly the same thing, Isaac. I think when on his last podcast, Charlie, didn't we? I said, so what do we actually do? Do we make wholesale changes? We can't make wholesale changes because it's going so well at home. I think it might be a mentality thing, and I think it's potentially just a blip that we'll probably get through in a few weeks' time. I think teams are more physical, aren't they? When we're away from home, and I think that's what we struggle with. But I think we'll ride it out over the next few weeks, and I think it's something that I think it'll just be a blip in the road for us.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything like tactical. I think he sets us up the exact same way. There might be the odd personnel change, whether it be an injury or suspension or just general rotation, which I think he hinted at the press conference today, that there could be some rotation for this game as well, which I'm on board with. But the same people that dig Farker out on Twitter after a draw or a loss are the same people that praise him after a win. So you just can't.
No.
You just can't please some people. I'm not Fark out at all. I think he's got enough credit in the bank. But again, on the flip side, the away form does need sorting, because if we don't go up, I think it will be down to that if it continues. Personally,
I think looking at some of these comments on Twitter, I think some people are saying like a tactical change, but I don't think that's the answer. I don't think if you're changing you can't have two separate tactics, one at home, one away. I don't think many teams do that, do they? And I think you can really upset the apple cart probably doing that. But yeah, I think it's something that will. I think it's just a blip in the road for us.
Do you think it's because maybe certain teams are a bit more physical away from home as well? They maybe put it on us a bit.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, I think Preston game, that's exactly what it was. I think there was, there's a lot more meatier challenges flying in away from home, and there's a lot more rough and tumble.
I would just like to quote Isaac as well, because when the Preston game was on, before Mateo Joseph contributed to that equaliser,
he didn't score.
I'm glad.
Well, no,
I totally forgot about that.
Didn't score, but we thought he had. Literally, I'm not even joking. It must have been about 2 minutes before that goal went in.
I don't even think
Isaac, would you like to repeat what you called young Mateo?
Let me get it up. I think my exact words were
a fine young human being, wasn't it? Isaac?
League One level at best.
That's it. League One level at best.
And then he just...
Do you know what, lads? I stand by it.
Do you stand by it?
And tell us why. Tell us why.
The guy's fit. I don't want my striker to be like incredible. Well, I do want him to be incredibly fit and chasing after balls, but I'm not really asked how many balls he chased. I want you to stick the ball in the back of the net. Do you know what I mean? And I know it fucking went off his heel or went off the other guy's shin, but
do you think that goal goes in if Perot's on the pitch?
Yeah,
in that area. Do you think?
I don't know if Perot would be there that late on.
That's what I mean.
He'd probably be on edge at box watching that with his eyes half closed, stoned out of his mind, wouldn't he? But I think I don't think he runs into them positions. But yeah, do you think we're being a little bit too harsh? I'm playing devil's advocate here, guys. Do you think we're being a little bit too harsh on him with it being his first full season with playing regular football? No,
I don't, Mike. Only because under the circumstances of how important it is for us to get promoted this season.
Yeah,
I think we've been saying in behind closed doors, the three of us saying not needs loaning out, but we need someone that's not more proven, but someone that has maybe done it before, because there's a lot riding on this season. I mean, at the start of the season on the square ball, Angus Kinnear said if we don't get promoted this year, then it only gets worse. So that's a lot of pressure on him that's been put on his shoulders to lead the line for Leeds United in a promotion season. I mean, had Bamford been promoted twice or once? At least once with Middlesbrough when he led us to promotion before.
Yeah.
Do you think that's on Fark then? Do you think he's put too much pressure on him too early?
I don't know, mate, because in pre-season we were all saying me and Charlie said on the phone the other day that we had him down as Golden Boot winner. We were like, he scored fucking 3 goals.
I did a TikTok on it, so I hope that don't resurface.
I just thought though, I just thought though that because it ain't like he's completely new this season. He did come on and play some minutes last season. He got them goals against Chelsea in the FA Cup. It ain't like he's brand new and he's learning the league, learning the country, all that sort of shit. He knows the club now. He's been here for long enough. But just to add to what Isaac said, is he maybe feeling that pressure a little bit now? I think because you can't be relying on a player with not a lot of experience in the Championship, and a young player as well, to be leading us to promotion. Like Isaac said, Angus has said, it's vital that we get up this season. Can you be relying on a young kid like Joseph, and people say he's scoring for Spain under 21s, but it's a different level completely.
Yeah, it's a totally different level who they're playing.
And maybe we are being a bit harsh. I don't know.
Do you know who he reminds me of?
Go on.
I think he's got a bit of David Sommer syndrome about him, old Matty Joseph. Like, he's decent when he comes off the bench, snatches I'm not even going to say snatches a few goals, but
it's weird though, because obviously we'll do as predicted 11s in a bit, but I would kind of advocate Joseph starting this game, because I think of late I kind of get what people are saying when they say that Perot's better when he comes on as a sub, because there's more space for him to work in and it's a bit more stretched. I don't know what you think about that.
No, I was thinking about this earlier on as well, Charlie. I think I'd start him as well. Maybe he needs a little bit of a confidence booster, and I think unless something goes totally drastically wrong on Saturday, I think we're going to see a lot of the ball, and I think we're going to have a lot of chances. So I think Saturday is probably going to be the perfect game for him to maybe fight, get a couple of goals, and maybe he'll push on from there. I don't know what you think, Isaac.
I think you need to get the crucifix ready for me, boys.
You're done with him, aren't you, mate?
No, I mean, I'd start Bamford on Saturday, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah,
bit of a curveball, but a lot of things, like, I know he missed that he tried clipping it through his legs like a Brazilian, but
yeah,
me, his positioning in and around the box whenever there's balls coming in, especially around them 6-yard box, he was in a good position. Don't get me wrong, Bamford will miss 8 times out of 10. But he gets in good positions, and I just think when we've got a lot of the ball, then he might stick a few away if we start him.
Don't you think with all our strike, like all 3 of them, that they've all got bits that are really good about them, but then all bits that are really bad about them? I think
if you put them mold together, you're getting like Haaland, I think.
If you could mold them all together, it'd be unbelievable. But there were a big bit of team news, wasn't there, from the press conference? The big sexy pirate could be the big sexy patient.
50-50 in it, whether he's going to play.
In January though.
I know. I've seen that as well. Yeah, that would be damning. I think that'd be awful.
They'd be posting pictures of him and Archie Gray like cuddling and that.
Oh, could you imagine? But if Strike is out, like, is there a solution? Does Ampadu go in even though he's not fully fit? Do you put Verber in? Oh no, Verber's injured as well.
Verber's a doubt now as well, isn't he? I think he's more or less out.
Mickey P. Curry would be happy that.
Yeah, what were he talking about? I've seen a lot of shocking takes this season, but I've not seen one Leeds fan say they don't think Strike should play, and definitely say he's not good on the ball. I thought it was a shocking take. That
said he's limited as a footballer.
Backs it up by saying he's only a decent ball player because he's got Rothwell and Tanaka in front of him. I was like,
that don't make sense.
In Strike one of the best players this season in terms of passes completed or something?
Yeah,
I'm sure he is. So that's a lot of rubbish.
Not even in the league. I think in like world football, he's got like the most passes for a centre half or something.
Yeah, and you don't have likes at Tottenham looking at you if you're shy, if you can't pass the ball in Championship, can you? I think he's actually been better than Rodon this season.
He has. Yeah.
The early part of the season, I think we were a bit like, fucking hell. We've signed Joe Rodon on a permanent, and now he's gone to shit. He's got the
he's improved a bit recently.
Kishishev syndrome, remember him?
Kishishev.
Yeah. Lubo who was it? Lubo Mikalik, yeah. Had him on loan from Bolton, then we signed him in League One. My League One autism's coming out.
I was just going to say, is League One autism. For those of you that don't know, he's quite autistic about the League One days.
Loves League One. I'm here for it though, mate. I'm here for it, so you can keep
quite autistic about everything, lads, but especially League One.
But in terms of Oxford, I'll be honest, I even said to Ian last night, I felt quite I don't know a lot about Oxford, but it's not just Oxford. I'm quite arrogant to the whole Championship. I don't really watch any other Championship football apart from our own.
Should we get the manager odds up, see who the next gaffer's going to be?
I think it's going to be Gary Rowett, isn't it?
I think Gary Rowett's very close. I think Rowett's very close to agreeing, to be fair. I don't think yeah. We had a conversation with Ian about this on the last pod, and I think he seems to be quite happy that it could be Gary Rowett. And I think if they need someone to come in and steady the ship and make them a little bit more tighter and a little bit more competitive, I think he's a perfect shout.
I said as well to him last night, I said, if I were in their position with the resources they've got, the players that they've got, someone like him to come in, he's been at Millwall and he's been at
Birmingham.
He has got good championship experience. So if there's someone that can get them out of it, I think it'll be him. I think Oxford will probably stay up. I think
if they get Gary Rowett, 100%.
If they get Gary Rowett, I think he'll do it. Because what are they now? 20th. I think the 20th, aren't they?
Yeah.
The 20th, but they've not. Yeah, they're on a really, really poor run out there. I don't think they've won a game, have they, since we're old?
I don't want to jinx it, but they've not won an away game all season. So.
Yeah, I think you were being a bit too safe and complimentary. I think, Charlie, when we did a score predictions, I think you played it safe. You didn't want to. I think your ass fell out a little bit. I think you wanted to say more goals, but you were being which is commendable. But
to be honest with you,
I think
partly that, but partly I actually do think it will be that score. Again, we'll go on to score predictions in a bit, but I actually do think it will be that still. To be honest with you, but
sorry lads, quick interruption. Do you know who's second on the list is for the Oxford job?
Go on,
John Terry.
Yeah.
Oh, John Terry.
He said that last night, didn't he? Ian said that.
Yeah.
And I went, honestly, mate, I'd feel bad for you if that happened. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and keep your women out players' lounge.
He wouldn't need an interview, though.
It'd be like an interview, wouldn't it? Drain pipe, wouldn't it? No.
Wouldn't need an interview, John Terry.
I'm John Terry. Yeah. You fucking mad.
I think that's what Lampard did at Coventry.
I was just going to say, that's what Lampard did, Gerrard. That's what they all do.
How is he still getting jobs? I know. How is he still getting jobs? I don't get it.
He sacked Mark Robbins for Frank Lampard.
Exactly. And they, what he's done, he took them up from League Two. I think they were actually in League Two at one point, weren't they? And I think when you saw some of the reactions from the Coventry fans, it were a bit like us with Bielsa, wasn't it? It was a really emotional connection they had with him.
And
Ian, just to go back to Frank Lampard.
Ian said that about Des Buckingham, didn't he? He said he kind of took them from obviously League One up to Championship, but they felt a little bit like that.
Yeah, a lot of people said we should draft Mark Robbins, and we appointed Farke, if you remember.
Yeah.
A lot of people were saying we should try and get Mark Robbins out of Coventry.
I don't think he'll be out of a job for too long. I think really good.
Wolves have just got that Pereira, haven't
they? Yeah. Did you see that the odds were slashed on Jesse Marsh going to Southampton?
Is he still wanting that job? I was ready to go in.
I was ready to go. I was good to go. I was ready to hit the showers.
Is the Canada boss though, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think the odds got slapped. But it does look like it's going to be. Is it Danny Roll? But yeah. He's
been at Southampton before, though, and he was Hasenhüttl's assistant. He was Hasenhüttl's assistant.
Yeah.
Corberan got linked as well, but he gets linked with everything.
It seems Southampton are hell bent on this fucking, Red Bull frigging pinball fucking penis ball shite, aren't they? Yeah. If they've not really moved on from Hasenhüttl, aren't they? If they wanted Marsh,
which wasn't working. They're trying to do the same thing, just with people.
It's mad as well, that,
Yeah, but if you look at the metrics, guys, if you look at the metrics,
they're
trending well, yeah.
Yes, we're 19th.
Yeah. Favourite part when that metric put it in top corner, because that fucking never happens, does it? But
when Spurs beat Southampton the other day, they had in their back four, they had Jed Spence and Archie Gray. Don't you think that's mad?
I know.
Yeah.
I watched Jed Spence's highlights and I nearly put on Twitter, but why couldn't you just be on time for a meeting, mate?
I know. I think I saw something as well. It were like
he didn't
turn up for some sort of charity work as well. I think, which didn't go down well. I heard that as well. But
I reckon he fancies himself. Like he seems that type of bloke, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does seem that type. But he played well in Italy, didn't he? I can't remember where he went after that.
Same place as Rodon. No.
Yes. Yeah, with France. Rennes. Sorry. Yeah. It were Rennes, wasn't it? Yeah, apparently had a really good stint there, didn't he?
Rennes. And us, actually, Spurs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We seem to get fucking loans off them past 2 years. And then we saw
since we got Greta Steinson in background, because he comes from Spurs.
Yeah, he's chipped off, hasn't he?
So who do we need to have a look out for Oxford? Then I think Mike, you said a few names last night. Who do you think we should look out for?
The player, if I'm honest.
Yeah, well, I know they've got Matt Phillips there, haven't they? Who's a chiseled fucking bastard, isn't he?
Yeah, he's injury prone, didn't he?
Yeah, he hasn't been able to put a run of games together. But I have seen a few bits of him this season. I've done a bit of research and stuff like that. And I was speaking to
Ruth. Is he still training there?
I think he's still training there, but I don't think he's been getting any games. But they've got a wide player, don't they? Tyler Goodrum, who can play either side. He looks a good little player, young player that's come through academy, can cut in on that left foot. And then they've got, I think, Mark Harris up front, aren't there, who's chipped in with some goals. I know he had a good start to the season. I think what Ian said, I think he got 4 in 4. And they've also got Dane Scarlett as well on loan, another Tottenham loanee. And I think
Dane Scarlett, he was meant to be mustard at one point.
He was going to be the next best thing, wasn't he? So he's there. So, I mean, they've got some danger men, haven't they, from like Tyler Goodrum and Mark Harris. But, like I said, something has to go drastically wrong on Saturday, hasn't it, for them to get anything out of that game.
I just think it'll end up being like how most home games have gone recently. I think we'll be a couple of goals up at half time, and then the second half will just be a training exercise.
You'd hope so.
That Middlesbrough game was the best home game of the season by a country mile, just for the atmosphere, and I think it meant more because they actually tried.
Came out and tried playing football, didn't they?
As we all know, my voice suffered quite a lot that night.
I wish we could clip that in. Is there any way that we can clip that in?
We'll try and find that.
Unfortunately, no, there isn't. For some reason, I can't get it.
There is.
I'll edit this one, boys. Don't worry.
I was going to say, if we go through WhatsApp, there definitely is.
Yeah, it was.
A bit like you smoked a full pack of John Players.
It was one of them where as soon as I shouted it, I felt my voice go, and I was just like, "Oh no, that's gonna."
Charlie said as well on that game, he started singing a song, and the voice cracked in it. Charlie, he went up an octave.
Yeah,
like his balls dropped.
My voice, yeah. Like they just
worse than that, is it?
No.
Especially when you're old singing it and it's not masked by anyone, or you go for another verse and everyone else stops singing.
It goes quiet, and you just go.
That's such an embarrassing moment when that happens, though, isn't it? When you go for another verse and then, all right, okay,
yeah, we are. Just pretend to cough.
But should we do predicted 11s?
Let's get it.
Because obviously there's a bit of doubt over certain positions, and he did hint at some rotation out wide as well.
Sorry, before we go into this, because he's going to be the first person we pick. Elland to Arsenal, anyone?
I saw that. Yeah, that's crazy. They can have him if they want.
I'd drive him there. I would drive it. I'd actually walk him there.
No, not North London, Mike. Traffic.
Yeah.
Put him on the train.
I'll stick him on trainer. Yeah.
We'll LNER, first class. We'll send him down.
I'd have to forgive me mortgage house for a train ticket these days, but at least it gets him off the books.
As much as we say this about him, though, I would still rather have him over Caldalo or Alex Cairns. Like, no disrespect to him.
Not for me, Charles.
I keep him until end of season.
Hot take. Go on.
I'm putting Darlow in me.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen
enough for Wales. Having watched none of their games, but he's had a few quick clean sheets.
I do get you, but he's just not going to do it, is he? Like, he's not going to.
No. But are we doing like what he thinks he'll pick or what we'd pick?
I think what he'll pick, we'll go.
He's going to pick Ireland, isn't he?
Because I think what we want probably won't happen. But obviously it'll be Illan Meslier, won't it, in goal? Yeah. Obviously in the back line, if Struijk is injured, I think maybe if we do him injured or maybe not injured. So I think if he ain't injured, obviously he plays. I think it'll probably be Bogle, Rodon, Struijk and Byram, with Firpo still being out. If Struijk is injured, who do you think comes in? Do you think it'd be Ampadu?
Yeah,
I think it'd be, wouldn't it?
Setting his hair on fire.
It's just a bit like he's not. I think Farkas even said, he's getting better day by day, but he didn't really say he were 100%. So is it a bit of mind games about Struijk? Maybe he's just planting the. I don't know.
He does that a lot.
He does. Yeah.
major doubt, and then they're starting, not
And
even
then
on the
they're
pitch.
playing.
It's
Yeah,
fucking hell.
Said it about Bogle for Preston, and then he was starting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, I think he'll start. To be honest, I think he will
That's how we'll
start.
start, lads. You watch. He'll be there.
When's he back? Is that January?
I don't know. A few months, he said, didn't he? February, I think.
I thought he said mid-Jan. But anyway, hold in the double pivot. I think there's no point debating this. It'll be Joe Rothwell, and our group chat is actually called the Ao Tanaka Fan Club.
It is indeed.
Is he the best player you've ever seen in a Leeds shirt, Isaac? Say yes, please. Say yes.
No.
Just say yes.
He's second best. He's second best.
To who?
Jermaine Beckford. No, Rafinha.
To Lubo Mikalik.
Yeah, Lubo. No, Mark De Vries.
Michael Brown.
Michael Brown wasn't League One.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. Autism.
Anthony Eldin. I'll throw it in there.
Who?
Anthony Eldin.
Signed from Kettering and then scored against us for Kettering to nearly knock us out the
If you went on Mastermind, your specialist subject would be League One, Leeds United, wouldn't it?
Maxman's a Leeds fan as well. He'd be like,
oh, God. But yeah, like, joking apart, I mean, just briefly, I mean, Isaac, we haven't really spoke to you over a call.
No, you've been ignoring me for months, lads.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
It's contract negotiations, mate. You've drove a hard bargain, haven't you? Yeah. That's the thing.
I said at the beginning, they had to get in touch with solicitors and everything. It would. Yeah.
We had to go through his agent, guys. As well. Don't be fooled.
Yeah. I had to speak to his missus. I had to speak to his missus and everything just to get this stuff.
She's taking 90% as well. So
90% of 50p.
Yeah, I don't know what that leaves. 5p is it?
90% of the Anshande.
I'm sure she won't be up for that as well.
Well, then let's move on.
Anyway, we'll move on.
Joking aside, Isaac, how good has Tanaka been? He's been unreal, hasn't he?
Mate, he's right. Can we discuss the casual racism that Daniel Fark keeps bestowing upon him by calling him Tiger Tanaka? I'm like, you can't say that, Dan. That's a little bit racist.
I'm surprised that had a little tap on shoulder and said, just stop that for now. But he's going with it, isn't he?
Yeah.
If he's got an A thing, someone should be going, right, Daniel, can you please just stop?
Stop it, the Tiger Tanaka thing.
He literally says it in every press conference as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. But I think Joe Rothwell's been a little bit not underappreciated, but a little bit not spoken about enough. I don't think.
Need to sign that fucker next month, in my opinion, boys.
If there's a deal to be done in January, are we all agreed that they should do it? If there's a deal to be done,
me and Charles spoke about this on the phone, Mike, last week.
Yeah.
If he wants 3 or 4 years, are you doing it? Because he's 28, mind.
No, I won't do it.
I'm not. I might sound a little bit harsh here. I think he's been amazing this season at midfield. I'd maybe take him on a couple-year contract, and if we do go up, which I think we will, I'm not sure he's cut out for Premiership as good as he has been this season.
I think he'd be a good squad player.
Yeah, but that's if he wants that. Obviously, we're at Bournemouth, and that's the reason we've got him. He ain't happy being a squad player, so I think
it's just. The thing is, though, sorry to interrupt, Charles. We say good squad players, but then you look at the likes of Southampton, who've got Flynn Downs, who fucking bullied us for 2 games last year, and he's shit in the Premier League.
Exactly. And I think that could be the case with Rothwell. I mean, I think he's been brilliant, and maybe I am being a little bit too harsh, but I think he's tried Premiership a few times, and it's not worked out.
We almost need to leave being too sentimental, like we did with the Bielsa crop.
Exactly.
Thanks for what you've done. Now fuck off. Do you know what
I mean? I'd take him on a 2-year deal max. I think 2 years max. But
he might end up being this promotion team's Michael Doyle.
Yeah, exactly. Another reference there.
Another League One reference. You'll get plenty of those, everyone. You will get plenty of those.
You will get at least 10 an episode.
Yeah, definitely. So out wide then, or like in the forward areas in general, like I said a bit ago, he did hint that there could be some rotation. Just to play devil's advocate, I'm not saying I would do this because I actually think he will start him. But given the festive period that's coming up, and there's probably more difficult games than this one on paper, would you rest Dan James for this one? I would play him, but I'm just throwing it out there.
I'd start him. And
the thing is, though, if the alternative's Ramazani, then fucking crack on. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
But
that's the
I
thing.
think he's looked good since his, in the brief little cameos that he's done since he's come back. So maybe this could be the game that he starts. But like I said, I want Dan James to start.
Yeah, I wouldn't rest him for this one. I've been so off. I think he's been a bit poo for the last few weeks. But...
Yeah, he's not been great, has he? It's a strange one, that. Because obviously that goal against Borough kind of bobbled in off him, didn't it? It
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But,
it was like
even so, I thought that might have given him a bit of, but just haven't seen. I thought against Preston, he was pretty gash as well. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah. I think he's just, to me, he looks a little bit tired and a little bit like he's run out of steam. So I think it'd be a good opportunity now, especially with all the games that are coming up over Christmas, just to give him a little bit of a rest. If it were me for Saturday's game, I'd probably start Dan James and maybe give Ramazani a start on left. And
I still think that's our best pairing, Mike.
Yeah, I do.
Playoff final, I'm playing them too.
Yeah, 100%. But it's good that we've got that imbalancement of riches, haven't we? That we can swap it.
Sorry, Mike, but how Dan James didn't start at Wembley is just.
I know,
mate. It could have been a totally different game, but anyway. But in the number 10, I think we spoke about this the other day, Mike, about Brendan Aronson, and obviously Mike was saying he still thinks he should play. I'm not necessarily saying drop him. I think that's a harsh term to say, but I would just like to see something different, just to compare notes, basically. And we've just said there that obviously Willie's not been good out on the left. I want to see him in the 10. I just want to see how it works. Or maybe put Largy in the 10 and Nonto out wide. Whatever
I'd like
you want.
To see Solomon as well, giving a go there.
Yeah, exactly. We've got an embarrassment of riches up top. And I think Brendan's just a bit... I think he's in his own head too much. He overthinks every time he gets hold at ball. Isaac, what do you think about Aronson? Would you drop him or...
I mean, we spoke about Rothwell next year. I do not want that fucker anywhere near this team next year. We've seen him in the Premier League, and he just goes down like a sack of shit. But Nonto and Aronson. I mean, I'd probably give Nonto a break.
Yeah.
For me, similar to Pro, I think he is probably more effective later on in the game if you bring him on last 20 minutes. He seems to run at people a lot more than he does if he starts. I feel like subconsciously it might preserve a little bit of energy if he starts the game. But then with bringing Ampadu, I mean, a lot of people were saying we'll put Rothwell in the 10 and give Aronson a rest. But with Ampadu coming in at centre-half potentially, that sort of eliminates the idea there because we can't bring him into the midfield. So
I think Strike will play, though, to be honest. I think he'll start. But up top, I think he will pick Perot. But I would actually start Joseph in this one and then bring Perot on later. But are we all in agreement that Farke will probably pick Perot? Or do you think he might go Joseph?
I think he might go Joseph, mate.
I'm going to say I don't think it's nailed on that Perot starts. I think, just to go back what I said previously, I think it might be a good opportunity for Joseph Saturday to get on the score sheet, maybe get a couple of goals and see if he can push on from there. So I think that might happen.
Yeah, I mean, I remember saying before that whole game at home that if he can get a goal, then he'll go on a run, and then he did score, and then it kind of didn't happen, and then he scored against Sheffield United, and we thought, right, a big game, he's scored, and then it still hasn't happened. So, like you say, I think maybe we shouldn't be putting a lot of pressure on him because we can't be reliant on a player like Joseph to get us up, unfortunately.
Is it weird to get promoted with a side and not have like a nailed on number 9? It feels weird.
Man City won the Premier League without a number 9.
Yeah, but
it's different.
They're all like 80 million players.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And they're now a finished club anyway, so
they're struggling big time, aren't they? Yeah. What do you think's happened with Guardiola? We've got scratches all over his face. Did you see that? He's absolutely lost the plot. Do you think he's had a bit of a toe-to-toe with someone? I don't know, like De Bruyne or something. Or do you think he's just got it? He's like,
I think something's happened behind the scenes for me there. I think.
Yeah. I reckon a few more losses and he'll fucking go him.
He's only just signed that new deal as well, hasn't he? It's mad.
I listen to Talk Sport like every day when I'm like driving to pick the missus up and that, and they were saying that he said he'd never walk away because like he couldn't live with it apparently, but I don't know. How far do you fucking let it? They're going to be in top 4, aren't they? So maybe they just fucking buy everyone next season. Do you know what I mean?
You don't know though. There's Forest that are above him at minute, I think, aren't there? The Forest
above him. Yeah.
Oh, lads,
Yeah,
I saw something the other day. Fuck me.
Here we go.
It was the manager odds to take over from Jesse Marsh.
What?
Number one was Arne Slot.
Oh, I know. I would have a
Number 2 was Iriola, and number 3 was fucking Nuno. And I was like, how the fuck did we end up with Javi Gracia?
I think we were really close to. I think Slot wanted to come, didn't he? I think he was just doing really well with Feyenoord. They'd not won a league title in years, and he didn't want to leave them halfway through a season, which you
took one look at Victor Orta and thought, nah, fuck that.
Fuck that. But I think we were really considering us at one point, wasn't he, Arne Slot?
Yeah. Do you remember his press conference with Feyenoord? They said, "Oh, what would you do if Leeds rang you now?" And he went, "I'd pick up the phone." I was like, fucking
Go on, you'll do for me. And I think Iriola as well. I think he would have similar.
Let him go, would they?
They won't let him go. They won't let him go. Yeah. And
how well he's doing with Bournemouth.
He's done a real good job there as well, hasn't it? So it's just
a bit under the radar, Bournemouth, aren't they? I didn't realise they were 6th.
Yeah, they're doing really well. They seem to just build year on year, don't they? But
I feel a bit depressed now speaking about that. What we could have had.
You saw it.
What we could have had. Yeah. What we could have had.
But ended up with Big Sam and fucking Javi Gracia. Anyway.
Ian brought up Allardyce last night, didn't he? And I thought, mate, why did you have to do that?
He did.
I said to him, why did you do that?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Is he not managed them as well? He's managed everyone else, hasn't he?
Well, he's managed every other fucker, hasn't he? But let's end on some score predictions then for this one. So I said 2-0 last night, and I'm going to stand by it. And I did well. I actually had Strike down as a goal scorer, so I might have to change that. But
yeah,
I think Dan James will definitely score, and I think if Strike doesn't play, I'll go with Nonto because I think Nonto will start. Yeah. So yeah, Mike,
I'm going to stick with 3-0.
Who did you say your scorers were again?
I'm going to say who I said. I'm going to change one goal scorer because I feel it in my bones that this person's going to get his first goal for Leeds. I said Pirro. I said Nonto and Aronson. So I'm going to go Nonto, Pirro, and I'm going to go for the main man, Tanaka. I've got a real big, I'm going to put a bet on it.
I reckon the roof would come off Elland Road.
Yeah. That one that got cleared off at line. Yeah. I think I've got a really good feeling that he's going to open his account for us on Saturday, and I hope he does.
I think my voice would break again if that happened, to be honest. So let's pray for that happening so you can hear that again. But Isaac, score prediction, goal scorers, what are you thinking?
I'll go 3-1 Leeds. I'll go the League One sensation himself. I fancy him. From a set piece. Yeah, I'll go Roden. Now he's in form.
Now he's had his hair transplant as well.
How has that happened so quick?
I want to know who that guy is because I want to get his number because that hair has just come out of nowhere on it.
And it's ginger now as well. They've got that colour, like what's it called when girls have it done? Strand test.
Strand test. Yeah.
And then who have I got? Rothwell, League One Matty, and Sam Byram.
He always chips in with something now and again, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I love Sam Byram.
That tackle he put in, fucking.
Oh yeah.
For the
Alisson goal, yeah. It was a proper cruncher, wasn't it? It was brilliant.
Yeah. It's always great when you do that and we go on to score. I'm pretty sure he did that last season for one of the goals as well.
Yeah.
The finish were unreal for it as well. To finish
DJ. Yeah, but he 20 seconds before, didn't he? And that was the best. That was the best limbs of the season. That I think. The best voice of the season as well.
Yeah.
The bloke next to me when that goal went in. Obviously, I was celebrating. There were lads from the road behind me on top of me and everything. And when I come to, I looked, I thought, where's he? He were about 3 rows in front. We all had to like pick him up and everything. It were really good that night. But that's what I mean. I think I've kind of missed that at Elland Road this season because all the games have been fairly routine and straightforward, aren't they? I think it's only Borough and maybe Watford that have actually come and tried.
Do you think that's why the
even
the
Sheffield
atmosphere
United
has been a little bit drab? Do you think?
Yeah, I think so because
I
I think the crowd feed off what they're watching, don't they? And
I do think Elland Road is at its best when, as fans, don't think we're guaranteed a win.
Yeah,
when there's a bit of jeopardy.
Yeah. You think of Leicester last season. You think of Sheffield United at home. You think of that Middlesbrough game.
Norwich in playoffs.
You know, when I was going to say Derby in the playoffs, but before the arse collapse went, do you know what I mean? That's when I think Elland Road is second to none. When
there's stuff riding on games as well. Yeah,
we're unsure.
Yeah. I agree, mate. Yeah.
Well, I think we'll leave it there. We've been going for nearly 40 minutes. Time does really fly when you're having fun, doesn't it? But
it does.
Like I say, Isaac, we are ecstatic. We are overjoyed. And every other positive adjective you can think of. We are happy that you're here.
Welcome, mate.
We'll send your contract out in the post in due course.
Don't spend it all at once, mate.
Yeah, don't spend it all at once, mate. All right, and make sure that your lass gets her share. But yeah, guys, like I say, big thank you to everyone for listening in advance and for watching. Please make sure that you're liking, you're commenting, and you're subscribing as always. And we'll be back on Sunday where we'll be discussing the Oxford game. We may even go live on Sunday to see what everybody thinks. So we'll see with that. But yeah, like I said, big thanks to everyone for watching in advance, and we'll see you in a bit. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.